Right, so Castle House Museum in Dunoon. We are very lucky that the Castle House have will have offered to host 2 placements here, so there's multiple opportunities for people to apply for. If you don't know about the Castle House Museum, it is a social history museum, which is located right in the centre of Dunoon there, in the Castle House grounds with fantastic views over the town. I'd say it's got the best views in the whole of the town. It's sited on the site of a 13th century stone castle. If you're applying for this placement, then I don't think you need to worry too much about getting there, because it's accessible very easily by car, by bus, on foot, or by bike. There's plenty of parking nearby, and there are places in the museum to leave your bike, so it's very easy to get to. Despite its name and appearance, it's not actually a castle. In fact, it's the former holiday home of Lord Provost Ewing of Glasgow, who bought the castle grounds in 1820 in order to build his Dunoon, I suppose, seaside resort. It is a very grand building. It's designed to tell everyone about the owner's wealth and social status, and I'm sure you can see that here. Nowadays, the building acts both as a museum and as the town's registry office. And it really focuses on the local and social history of Dunoon and the wider Cowal Peninsula. And this is mainly done through reconstruction type displays with mannequins, objects, film, sound, and more traditional cabinet displays. So you can see just on the right hand side of the screen here, you can see some of the reconstructions that are available, looking at Victorian Dunoon, or the birthplace of Highland Mary, Robert Burns' lover, who was from Auchenmore in Dunoon. So the placement participants will be able to get involved in collections including Neolithic tools and early settlements in the area, local geology, films and postcards which contrast 20th century Dunoon with the present day. As I mentioned, there's the replica of Highland Mary's birthplace. There are lots of Victorian set rooms, including schoolrooms, parlours, nurseries, etc. There's sections on Clyde steamers and shipbuilding. First World War and Second World War are also represented. Local shops and businesses, lots of children's toys. It includes a who's who of Dunoon, photographic archives, and also covers the American submarine presence in Holy Loch. So this is a real melting pot of subjects, and there's lots of things to get your teeth into. As you can imagine, the collections are vast, and I've just put together a wee pepper pot here of things that you might encounter. So everything from vintage luggage to ship buoys, mystery sort of tape recording equipment, photographs of Dunoon's coins and medals, and got there some very jazzy vintage packaging, I suppose. So there's really lots of things that form the basis of the collections, which are quite exciting. As I mentioned, there are 2 placements, so I'll just run through them one by one. The first is social media takeover, and it really, I suppose, does what it says on the tin. This is the opportunity for anyone who loves social media, who would really be interested in a career in digital marketing, to have your voice heard and to be the forefront of the Castle Museum. We're really looking for somebody to create posts which will entice visitors into the museum and also keep the museum in the public eye when it's closed for the winter. So you might want to think about what would drive you into the museum, or what would be a really headline story. We'd like you to learn about the museum and its collections, select objects and create content for social media and blogs to try and build followers across the museum's platforms and make recommendations for the future. And the current platforms that the museum have comprise Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the museum blog. We made sure that you get plenty of training in order to facilitate you to do this placement, and you'd be working alongside the museum's marketing manager. So you would never be at a loss as such. So training would include introduction to the museum and the collections, access to museum objects and displays, object handling training, mentoring from the museum marketing manager. We would provide advice on which to create content, and there'll be a workspace provided for you within Castle Museum itself. You get all appropriate health and safety training and dedicated support from myself to achieve hopefully a Archaeology Scotland Heritage Heroes Award. And as we should say for all our placements, there will be a learning agreement devised with you so that everyone knows so that you know what your aims are and we can help you get there. In terms of time commitment, this will be agreed with the applicants, but we are ideally looking for maybe 2 half-days per week, looking to start early September or mid-September, get the ball rolling soon, and we would run to late November. But again, this will be agreed with you in advance. And most importantly, the closing date of Sunday coming, so Sunday 5th September at 5 p.m. Our second placement is called Creating Great Visitor Experiences. So this would be ideal if you're the kind of person who likes to meet new people, who likes to be front of house, who likes to be in about the action and telling stories. So duties would include welcoming people to the museum, operating the ticket desk, guiding people around the displays, providing access to the sort of photographic archive, as well as answering queries. And we'd be keen if the person would like to investigate developing some self-led trail for younger visitors and worksheets. And there's lots of really lovely children's objects in the museum that could form the basis of some really nice work. So we'd be very interested in seeing that happen as well. Likewise, you'll be provided with all the training required, much similar to the previous placement. So introduction to the museums, training on how to operate the ticket desk, training on how to guide people and welcome people, object handling training. And you'd always have support from myself and the museum manager to make sure that you got through the placements in the best way possible. For both opportunities, we're not stating that we need previous experience in the field. We're really just looking for enthusiasm and an interest in the placement itself. So either in social media or in being a front of house position.